Someone writes to say, my wife and I are baby Christians, and we're thinking of ways to get the Bible in front of our kids in more ways than quiet times. How did you and Nancy do this in your home?
More ways than quiet times. One way was, I remember when Nate was little, he would go to sleep listening to Bible tapes. So we just put on a Bible tape and he'd listen. And I don't know how many times through the New Testament, but periodically we'd be out in the living room and there'd be a voice from the bedroom. Dad, how come in one place it says Judas hanged himself and the other place it said his bowels gushed out? What?
Yeah.
So he's tracking. So there was that. We discontinued that after a time because we didn't want it to become a security blanket, like just a drill. But he took in a lot of scripture that way. Scripture talks about in Deuteronomy 6, when you rise up, when you walk along the road, when you lie down. So one of the things that we wanted to do this was a lot of our dinner table conversation, where the kids would come home from school and everybody would debrief from the day. What happened? What did Mr. So-and-so say? How did this scrape on the playground get handled? All this stuff. And I would sometimes have to tell the kids to take a number. Where first you, then you, then you. And they would lay out what had happened, and then we would apply. So what does the Bible say about that kind of situation? So that was much more informal, ongoing, when you rise up, when you walk along the way. Other than that, and then, of course, there's the worship on the Lord's Day, and they grew up worshiping in a church that was Scripture saturated. We sang singing psalms and Scripture readings throughout the service, and the sermon expositing a particular passage of Scripture.
Yep.